Eritrean refugees' plight worsening in Tigray. And in the world of sport, Fury Wilder trilogy now set for October 9. And now the news in details. The federal government has declared Tuesday, July 20th and Wednesday, July 21st, 2021 as public holidays to mark this year's Eid el-Kabir celebration. Interior Minister Raul Bishola made the declaration on Thursday on behalf of the federal government. He congratulated Muslims and Nigerians across the world on the celebration, as the statement in Abuja by Permanent Secretary in the ministry, Dr. Shuaib Belgore, urged Nigerians to observe COVID-19 protocols during the celebration. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, and the International Trade Center, ITC, has launched the ECOWAS Trade Promotion Organization, TPO network. The body's first annual General Assembly was held yesterday in Abuja and was chaired by its president, Mr. Segun Awolowo. The TPO network is a public sector-led entity and will partner with the ECOWAS Commission to drive inclusive trade development initiatives within West Africa and beyond. ECOWAS Commissioner for Trade, Customs and Free Movement, Tay Konze, while inaugurating the body on behalf of the President of ECOWAS Commission, Jean-Claude Cassibro, said trade promotion organizations were important in accessing new markets and establishing linkages between local and international businesses. Also, Awolowo, who is the Executive Director, CEO of the Nigeria Export Promotion Council, said this was the first step of many steps towards building mutual trust and cooperation without borders in the ECOWAS region. Oyo State Governor Engineer Seyi Makinde has approved the employment of 692 education officers who will teach in the Unity schools under the Ministry of Education, as well as technical colleges. Alhaji Kamoru Abiodun Aderibigbe, Chairman, Civil Service Commission, made this known in a statement made available to newsmen on Thursday. Alhaji Aderibigbe said candidates who attended the earlier interviews are to check their status on the state job portal from Saturday, the 16th of July. You're still listening to the news at 10 on T-Solid Radio. Still to come is the foreign and sports news. Do remember that you can download our app T-Solid on Play Store or log on to www.tsolid.tv. You can as well follow us on our social media platforms, all at T-Solid Radio TV. And now to some foreign stories. The United Nations Refugee Agency has warned the situation in camps housing Eritrean refugees in Ethiopia's northern Tigray region is rapidly deteriorating. The UNHCR said conditions have worsened over the past 2 days after fighting has escalated. It says the death of at least one Eritrean refugee has been confirmed, adding there are credible reports of arrest, detentions, beatings, looting, and sporadic gunfire at 2 refugee camps in the region. All sides have been accused of committing human rights abuses during the fight, but these reports indicate civilians are being directly caught up in the conflict too. The UNHCR says tens of thousands of Eritrean refugees are currently trapped in the camps, unable to leave due to the region's increasing insecurity, while humanitarian teams cannot reach them. The UNHCR has urgently called on the Ethiopia federal government and the Tigray regional government to protect the right of all refugees. Authorities in Germany's Rhineland-Palatinate has today said that 50 people have been killed in devastating floods in the western state, bringing the national death toll to a total of 81, with dozens more missing. However, a spokesman for the Interior Ministry of Rhineland-Palatinate, Timo Hangs, told newsmen that dozens remain missing in western Germany, while raising fears of the death toll could rise further following the region's worst floods in living memory. The head of the WHO, World Health Organization, has urged China to be more cooperative with the WHO's second phase of the investigations into the origins of COVID-19. Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus called for more access and transparency. The first phase of the WHO's investigation ended in February, and it concluded that it was highly unlikely that the virus came from a laboratory in Wuhan, China, and that it probably originated in bats. Speaking in Geneva on Thursday, Dr. Tedros said the WHO needed access to raw patient data from just before and the start of the pandemic, this time around adding that China did not share the data with the WHO team during the first investigation. Dr. Tedros also warned against the idea that the pandemic was coming to an end, while he noted that the new and more dangerous variants were expected to spread around the world. However, according to WHO, coronavirus-linked deaths in Africa surged by 43% in the space of a week, driven by a lack of intensive care beds and oxygen. The Eiffel Tower is set to reopen to visitors today for the first time in 9 months, following its longest closure since World War II. The lifts of the Iron Lady are set to wear back into life, transporting tourists to its 300-meter summit, ending a long period of inactivity caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Daily capacity is set to be restricted to 13,000 people, however, about half of the normal level in order to respect social distancing. And from Wednesday next week, visitors will need to show either proof of vaccination or a negative test in line with recent government-imposed requirements. Tests are still underway, and painting is set to resume only in the autumn. And in the exciting world of sports this morning, Tyson Fury's third world heavyweight title fight against Deontay Wilder has been rescheduled for October 9th. The bout, which had been due to take place in Las Vegas on July 24th, was postponed after the British heavyweight tested positive for coronavirus. Fury beat American Wilder to become WBC champion in February 2020, 14 months after the pair shared a thrilling draw in Los Angeles. Neither man has fought since Fury's victory in Las Vegas, and after a third fight fell through several times due to complications around the COVID-19 pandemic, Fury sought to move on and face fellow Briton Anthony Joshua, who holds the other three significant titles at heavyweight. Fury is unbeaten in his 31 fights, while Wilder has just one defeat in 44 outings. Ex-Super Falcons star Stella Mbachu and Rita Nwadike have hailed the return of Desire Oparanozie to the team after a 2-year absence. Oparanozie returns after she was replaced as captain of the side by Asisat Oshuala and then subsequently dropped from the team. In an interview with newsmen, Oparanozie hinted that the fighting for the players' rights was part of the reason she was stripped off the captain's armband. She is, however, making a return to the team after coach Randon Waldrum included her in the 26-man team for training tour in Austria. Nwadike, scorer of the Falcons' first ever Women's World Cup goal in Sweden in 1995, added that Oparanozie's return would serve as a motivation for younger players in the squad. The Falcons are using the 8-day training camp as part of preparations for the Aisha Buhari Invitational Women's Football Tournament. And we have come to the end of the news. Here is a recap of the major headlines. Federal government declares July 20th, 21st public holidays. Makinde approves employment of 692 education officers. Eritrean refugees plight worsening in Tigray. And in the world of sports, you heard Fury Wilder trilogy now set for October 9th. Do ensure to go by all precautionary measures to stay safe from COVID-19 as recommended by the WHO and NCDC. To remember that you can download our app T-Solid on Play Store, log on to www.tsolid.tv. You can as well follow us on our social media platforms, all at T-Solid Radio TV. The news was compiled by Akachi Chiji. I am Mobola Bade Kale. Good morning and thank you for listening.
Kindly log on to www.tsolid.tv or download our app on Google Play Store by simply typing T-Solid.